Hey Mission College, this video is going to show you how easy it is to apply to CalFresh. CalFresh is a program for people with low income who meet federal income eligibility rules and want to add to their budget and put healthy fresh food on the table. This program, also known as SNAP or EBT, issues monthly electronic payments that can be used to buy foods at many markets and food stores. Now let's get into the application process. CalFresh recently renovated their website and the process is very user-friendly and easy to use. You can find the application at getcalfresh.org, but I'll be using a demo site for instructional purposes today. So let's get started. You're going to go ahead and click this button, Apply Now, and this gives us a brief overview of what to expect. It should take around 10 minutes. And so how it works is we will submit an application online and provide proof of our situation by submitting documents. From there, the county will contact you if they need more information, and if you're approved, you'll get an EBT card with money for groceries in 30 days. All right, let's begin. So we're going to start with some basic information. We'll start with our zip code. All right, so here we'll put in our name. Be good old Jane Doe today. So this page asks, who else do you regularly purchase and prepare food with? So there's lots of situations that can apply here. So you can click here to learn more about that situation. But since Jane Doe is over 22 years old and lives with friends, she only buys and prepares food for herself. So she's going to be the only person on this application. However, if you have kids or if you're under 22 and you live with family, you would add another person to your application right here. But since it's just Jane, it's going to be just me. Have you applied to CalFresh in the last year or so? Nope, this is her first time. This is just letting us know we're starting an application for one person, so just reiterating that information. Sounds good. And here they're going to ask us a series of quick questions, and I'm going to answer them according to Jane Doe. So, do you get any supplemental security income? No. Are you 60 or older or getting disability benefits? No. Is everyone on the application a U.S. citizen? So yes, Jane Doe is a U.S. citizen. However, it's important to note that most immigrants can still be eligible for CalFresh. Are you a college student? Yes, Jane Doe goes to Mission College. Only students who are enrolled half-time or more count as a college student. So we're going to select any of these that apply to Jane Doe's situation. So none of these apply, so I'm going to go ahead and put none of the above. On this page, students have special requirements. Let's go through them. So we're going to select anything that applies to us. So I filled out the FAFSA and have expected family contribution of $0. I'm eligible for work study. I have a child 12 or younger. I receive Cal Grant A or B. On average, I work 20 or more hours a week. I receive AB 12, AB 212. I'm an EOPS student, or receive another resource or employment program that qualifies me for CalFresh, or none of the above. So let's say Jane applied to FAFSA this year and has a $0 expected family contribution. And she's also in EOPS. All right, here are some more questions. Do you live in on-campus housing? No, I do not live in on-campus housing. Do you live with your parents? So say yes or no. So no, Jane Doe does not live with her parents. Now let's check if you meet the CalFresh income requirements. If you have them on hand, later you'll get the opportunity to submit these. Do you have a job? Make sure to include any self-employed work. So yes, Jane Doe does have a job. Do we have any income from freelance, independent contractor, or self-employment work? So this usually applies if you work for DoorDash, Lyft, Uber, anything like that. If you have a small business, anything where you're an independent contractor and need to fill out a 1099 at the end of the year. If you need any more information on the types of self-employment, go ahead and click here and it'll give you more information. But we're going to go ahead and put no, because no, Jane does not work as a freelancer. Have you lost a job in the last 30 days? Thankfully, no. Jane has not lost her job in the last 30 days. In total, how many jobs do you have? So here, you'll select how many jobs that you have. Jane only has one, so we'll fill that out. What's the best way to provide your pre-tax earnings from the last 30 days? If you have a collection of pay stubs, you should be able to figure out the exact amount, but you can also input your hourly wage too if you do not have access to your pay stubs for whatever reason. Jane Doe can, so we'll put this. How often do you get paid? So there's several different options here. Jane gets paid every month. How much money do you get each pay period before taxes? Jane Doe makes about $1,020 a month. Tell us about how much you'll earn going forward. Include the money from freelance, self-employed, or independent contractor jobs. We're just going to forecast whether we think that we're going to be making any more or any less money than we've made. So Jane Doe doesn't expect any decrease or increase in her pay. Her schedule stays pretty much the same. We're going to go ahead and put no for this. If you have any particular information that you want to add, you can go ahead and put that here. So do you get unemployment benefits? Answer no if you've applied for unemployment but not gotten it yet. No, Jane Doe is not currently getting unemployment benefits. Do you get any money from other sources? It's important to note, do not include your financial aid award money that you get. So here are some other examples of that. None of these apply to Jane, so we'll go ahead and put no. Do you pay for court-ordered child support? No, Jane does not. So how much money do you have on hand? This includes any cash or money in savings account. It won't affect your benefit amount. It's only to see if you qualify for an expedited service. So CalFresh does offer an expedited service where you can kind of fast track it. Instead of taking 30 days, it will be much quicker. But if you do have some cash on hand, that may affect it. So Jane has $500 in the bank. Now we're going to review what you told us about the income on your application. So this is just to double check that you inputted everything correctly. You didn't put an extra zero or missed a zero or something. That would make a big difference. Everything looks correct as to what we put. We'll continue. So at this stage, they tell you whether or not you're likely to be eligible for CalFresh. Even if it says you're not likely to be eligible for CalFresh, you have a right to continue your application and submit it to the county. This is just a pre-screening before you get to submit your documentation. So since it appears that we're likely to be eligible for CalFresh, we're going to continue with application. CalFresh wants to give you the highest chance of getting CalFresh and the biggest benefit amount you qualify for. They'll also use this info to see if you qualify for expedited service, which gives your county 3 days to process your application. So here we'll input how much we pay in rent or mortgage every month. So Jane Doe lives with friends. She pays $700 a month. Do you pay for any utilities? Select all that you are billed for, even if you haven't paid it this month. So Jane Doe pays for cell phone. She pays for heating, water, and that is it. Do you pay for any child or dependent care? So no, Jane Doe doesn't have any children. However, if you do, this would apply to you. So now we're going to review just like we did earlier with the income, just making sure everything looks correct. So everything looks great. Great, CalFresh has looked at my expenses to see if I can get the largest benefits might be loaded on the EBD card in 2 separate payments. So here we'll input a little bit more information. Here we will input more information about Jane. So the name's already in there. We'll put her birthday, gender, and Social Security. Okay. Now we're going to put in the contact information. So now we're going to input some information about our current living situation. Select all that apply. So Jane rents, none of these apply. What's the name of your school? So go to Mission College. Okay, so where are you currently living? So for instructional purposes, we'll just put Mission College's address. Is this the best address for you to receive mail for the next 3 months? So either yes or no. If you have a P.O. box or something, put no, but if you like to have your mail come to your house or apartment, go ahead and say yes, send mail there. You may need to do a 30-minute interview with your county. Do you have any time preferences? So this is where you can include your preferred time. So if you have work or school or anything like that, just select a time that works for you. Interviews are typically scheduled between 8 to 5 p.m. on weekdays. I'll put 9 a.m. That is when Jane is normally free. Would you like to get CalFresh reminders through the process? So you can either be emailed or text messages, updates about your application, or if you need to submit any other required documents. So I'll go ahead and put email me. So this is just letting us know that we'll receive a confirmation email soon. Here it's asking us if we want to designate someone to help with your CalFresh benefits. So this is going to be an authorized representative for your application. And Jane does not need this, so she will put no. Is there anything else you'd like us to know about your situation? So here is your chance to write about anything you weren't able to answer in previous questions. If you have any particular information that you want the county or CalFresh to know, this is where you would put it. Okay, so here, all the fun legal stuff. Make sure you take the time to read all of this. It's very important. Right, we agree. So here is where we provide an electronic signature. So we're just going to put our name, and I will submit it. So the bulk of the application is complete. Now we have the opportunity to provide proof of documentation. So you have 30 days to submit it, but I'm just going to show you how easy it is to do it right now. Here's what you're going to need to verify with documentation: a copy of your ID, pay stubs, proof of housing expenses, a copy of your financial award letter, a copy of your class schedule, and attach proof of your $0 expected family contribution. However, what you see here will entirely depend on your circumstances. This is advising that you submit as much proof as you can before your interview. It will reduce back and forth during the application process. So to make things as smooth as possible, try and upload all the documents that are noted here. So I'll just do one example of how to submit the proof. So what's really great about this is you don't necessarily need a scanner. You can use your smartphone camera to take a picture of your ID. And how it works is they're going to text you a link. From there, the link will allow you to open your camera, take a picture of your driver's license, and then you can come back to the computer and it will be uploaded. So it's very seamless, very easy to do. And from there, it's basically the same. So you can take a picture with your smartphone, but if you do have a scanner and you prefer to do it that way, you can scan your files, upload the document, and you can upload it here. So we'll go ahead and skip the rest. This gives us the opportunity to register to vote. Jane Doe is already registered, so she's going to skip this part. No, I don't want to register. All right, so our CalFresh application has been submitted. We did it. This just shows us what to expect next. So we may receive a phone call to verify more information. You may need to send your county more or different documents. Your county will mail you a letter to let you know if you qualify for CalFresh. If you do get approved, you will get 2 pieces of mail, one with your EBT card and another with your PIN number. And that's it. We're done. I'd love to remind you all that the Basic Needs Student Ambassadors are here on campus in the info desk to help you with this process anytime you need.